Cruise lines have spent decades perfecting clever traps hidden behind every all-you-can-eat buffet and irresistible drink deal. But how to outsmart the cruise lines is about to change the game. Did you know your first rookie decision, like prepaying gratuities, could lock you into $20 a day fees and leave you powerless if service goes south? All before you even board? Or that packing the wrong power strip can get your gear confiscated thanks to strict Coast Guard fire codes? And that unbeatable drink package? Most cruisers lose money, lured by the hype. These are just the first 3 cruise tricks they hope you never notice. Ready to tip the odds in your favor? Here's what they don't want you to find out next. Look, cruise lines love when you prepay gratuities. It's like tipping your server before you even see the menu. No matter what happens, they've got your cash. Most lines now auto-charge $14 to $20 per person, per day. For a family of 4, that's hundreds of dollars locked in before you ever step foot on the ship. Carnival hiked their rates by 8% in 2016, and if you'd prepaid, you were stuck paying the new price. No questions asked. Here's what most people miss: those prepaid tips. They don't always land in your cruise pockets. Cruise lines use them to subsidize salaries or pad their own profits. On some ships, there are literally 30 pages of passenger names who went to guest services and removed their tips after boarding. Why? Because when you prepay, you lose all leverage. If your cabin steward vanishes into thin air or your waiter forgets you exist, tough luck. You already paid. The smarter move? Skip the automatic gratuity at booking. You can always adjust it at guest services later, based on how your trip actually goes. That way, you keep control. And the cruise line knows you're not an easy mark. But here's the part they hope you never figure out. Cruise ship cabins were clearly designed by someone with one plug and no electronics. Most rooms have maybe 2 outlets, and one of those is hidden behind the TV or under a lamp the size of your suitcase. So if you're bringing a phone, smartwatch, tablet, camera, hair straightener, and a fan because you can't sleep without white noise, good luck charging it all. The fix? Bring a power strip, but not just any power strip. Here's the trap. Cruise lines ban surge-protected power strips. If you try to sneak one in, security might confiscate it before you even see your cabin. Why? The US Coast Guard issued a marine safety alert after 2 stateroom fires were traced back to surge protectors. Turns out, ship wiring isn't like your house. Surge protectors can actually cause overheating and fires at sea. That's why only non-surge, cruise-approved power cubes or USB hubs make it through. Pack the right one. They run about $15 to $25, and you'll dodge the confiscation table and the late-night charger shuffle. But here's the part they hope you don't know. Drink packages sound like a dream. Unlimited cocktails, sodas, lattes, and all the bottled water your vacation brain can handle. But here is what cruise lines hope you never do. Sit down and actually crunch the numbers. Most standard drink packages run anywhere from $63 to $120 a day, per person, plus an automatic 18% gratuity tacked on top. And if you are thinking you can just buy one for the cabin and share, think again. Cruise lines require every adult in the same stateroom to purchase a package. No exceptions, even if your partner is a teetotaler. Now, let us do the math. To break even, you would need to knock back about 6 to 10 drinks every single day, for the entire cruise. Most people? They average 2 to 4 drinks a day, tops. Only about 20 to 30% of passengers ever hit that break-even point. And do not forget the fine print. Most packages cap you at 15 drinks per day, and specialty cocktails or premium brands usually are not included. So unless you are planning to treat every sea day like spring break, the package is usually a money trap. But here is the kicker. Cruise lines do not want you to realize. Interior cabins can feel like a steal, until you realize you've booked a front row seat to the ship's greatest hits of noise. Some of these budget rooms are parked right under the pool deck, where the 5 a.m. chair drag sounds like a herd of elephants in flip-flops. Others are directly above the nightclub, so you get a nightly base massage whether you asked for it or not. Then there are the cabins next to the mysterious maintenance door, the one that slams every time someone remembers they left a wrench behind. It's like living inside a game of cruise ship whack-a-mole. But here's what the cruise lines skip in their glossy brochures. The best way to dodge these noise traps is to study the deck plans before you book. Look for a cabin that's sandwiched between other guest rooms. Nothing above, nothing below, but more cabins. That's the sweet spot. Avoid the guaranteed cabin deals and upgrade lotteries. because those are where the leftover, noise-prone rooms end up. With a little detective work, you'll sleep like royalty for the price of steerage. But here's the advanced move they really hope you never figure out. You step on board ready for paradise, and the first thing you see? A tidal wave of people stampeding straight to the buffet like it's the Last Supper. The Embarkation Day buffet is chaos. Thousands of hungry travelers, all funneled into one crowded room, juggling trays, dodging elbows, and circling for a free table like sharks in a feeding frenzy. Most of the food? It's been sitting for hours. And with the stampede, freshness is just a rumor. The scrambled eggs are more like scrambled mysteries, and the bread basket is emptier than your inbox after vacation. But here's the trick seasoned cruisers and crew know. You don't have to join the herd. Most ships quietly open at least one main dining room or a specialty venue for embarkation lunch. No crowds, no chaos, and get this, real menus, actual table service, and food that hasn't been sweating under a heat lamp since sunrise. You can sit down, order, and start your cruise with a glass of something cold while everyone else is fighting over the last chicken tender. The buffet trap is exactly what the cruise line expects you to fall for. But you're already one step ahead. And if you think that's the only time timing matters for great food, just wait until dinner. If you think the embarkation buffet is the only food trap at sea, think again. Dinner time is when most cruisers walk right into the next one, lining up at 6:45 sharp with the entire ship. That's prime time for long waits, crowded tables, and food that's been under the heat lamp just a little too long. The kitchen is slammed, the staff is stretched, and your steak? It might be lukewarm by the time it lands. Here's the insider move. Eat early, around 5:30, or go fashionably late after 8:15. That's when the dining rooms are calm, the service is snappy, and the food comes out hot. You'll skip the stampede and actually enjoy your meal. But timing isn't the only way to outsmart cruise dining. Most ships are hiding free food gems in plain sight. There's usually a custom pasta station tucked in the buffet where you can order exactly what you want, made fresh while you watch. Deli counters serve up sandwiches and wraps with zero upcharge, and late-night pizza joints stay open until the last passenger calls it a night. Room service breakfast? If you stick to the basics, think pastries, coffee, fruit, it's often free. That means you can eat in bed without paying a dime extra. The trick is knowing these spots exist, because the cruise line isn't advertising them. They'd much rather you pay for a specialty dining upgrade. So while everyone else is elbow deep in buffet chaos or waiting for a table at peak hour, you're breezing through the best food on the ship. No crowds, no extra charges, no cold fries. But here's the part they really hope you never figure out. Your cabin door has a peephole, and on some ships, it works both ways. That's right, unless there's a privacy cover, someone in the hallway could use a reverse viewer and get a look inside. The fix? Bring a piece of opaque tape or a sticky note and cover that peephole as soon as you unpack. It takes 2 seconds and gives you real peace of mind, especially if you're traveling solo or with kids. Now, let's talk about the quest for actual quiet. Even if you avoided the obvious noise traps, like the pool deck above or the club below, there's a deeper level of silence most passengers never reach. The secret is booking midship, away from the bow where the anchor drops with a 6 a.m. metal-on-metal concert, and far from crew service corridors that turn into a door-slamming relay all night. The real pros study the deck plans and look for cabins surrounded on all sides by other guest rooms. No public spaces, no mystery doors, just a buffer of sleeping neighbors. You'll sleep like you own the ship, while everyone else is counting sheep to the rhythm of a crew cart. But here's the twist. While you're securing your space, the cruise line is setting you up for their next big upsell, one that's all smiles and flashbulbs, but comes with a serious price tag. You're walking to dinner, feeling fabulous, and suddenly, bam! There's a cruise photographer, all smiles, flagging you down like you're on the Hollywood red carpet. They snap your picture whether you're ready or not, then vanish as quickly as they appeared. Fast forward to the photo gallery, and there it is. Your family, mid-bite, immortalized, and priced at $24.99 for a single digital download. Want a package? Get ready to fork over $300 or more. Cruise lines train their gallery staff to play on your emotions. Formal night persistence is part of the gig. They know you'll pass by those photos again and again, each time feeling a little more pressure. Missed your shot? Sorry, they rotate photos out daily so that fear of missing out is real. Here's the hack. Skip the impulse buy. Wait until the last night, when unsold packages are sometimes discounted, or snap your own photos in front of their backdrops. No one will stop you. That way, you keep the memories, not the regret. But the upsell parade isn't over yet. Wait till you see what they do with drink specials. Drink of the day sounds like a win. Tropical color, a plastic souvenir glass, and a price that looks like a bargain next to the regular cocktail menu. But here's the trick. Cruise lines aren't slashing prices out of kindness. That daily special is usually built with the cheapest house liquor behind the bar. Think bottom shelf rum with a neon mixer and a mountain of ice. The real secret? Using house brands can save the cruise line up to 80% compared to pouring premium spirits. Sometimes, the daily special is poured a little lighter too, so you're mostly tasting juice and sugar, not much else. It's all about the show. Flashy glass, paper umbrella, and a recipe that guarantees you'll want another round. If you want a drink that's actually worth the money, skip the special and order your favorite spirit by name. Or if you're just after the glass, ask for it empty. No upcharge for water. But the next time you see that sign for the drink of the day, remember, the only thing special is how much the cruise line saves. And speaking of saving your stuff, the next trick could make the difference between seeing your luggage again or watching it disappear into the cruise ship abyss. Luggage tags are the cruise line's secret stress test. Every sailing, thousands of bags get handed off to porters, tossed onto conveyor belts, and stacked in the belly of the ship. If your tag rips, fades, or falls off, your suitcase takes a detour straight to the naughty room. That's the lost and found, and it's about as fun as waiting in line at the DM Vibe. Disney's lost luggage reports show just how common this is, especially when paper tags get soaked or snagged. And if you're sailing MSC, don't expect a happy ending. Their compensation maxes out at €600 per lost bag, no matter what's inside. Here's the hack. Skip the paper tags entirely. Buy a set of reusable plastic luggage tag sleeves that fit your cruise line's tags. They cost about $7 for a pack and take 30 seconds to attach. Snap them on before you leave home, and your suitcase is ready for anything from rain to baggage handler wrestling matches. No more panic at the terminal. No more frantic form filling at guested services. Your bags show up at your cabin, on time, every time. But the real payoff? You start and end your cruise with zero lost luggage anxiety, while everyone else is hunting for their bags or filling out paperwork. The next trick will change how you think about leaving the ship altogether. Cruise lines love to make disembarkation feel like an Olympic sprint. At the crack of dawn, announcements start rolling, elevators fill up, and the line to get off the ship looks like Black Friday at a big box store. Except everyone's dragging luggage and running on 4 hours of sleep. But here's the trick they hope you don't think about. You don't have to join the stampede. Most ships open the gangway around 7 a.m. for the self-assist crowd, but the real rush hits between 7 and 8 as hundreds of people try to beat some imaginary clock. Meanwhile, breakfast buffets and dining rooms stay open until 9:30, sometimes later, and the ship itself doesn't have to be cleared until 10 a.m. or even 11 on some lines. So why rush? If you wait it out, you can enjoy a calm breakfast, sip one last coffee, and stroll off the ship after the chaos dies down. No shoving, no lines, and no standing in a terminal with nowhere to sit. The best part? Your bags are easier to spot, porters are actually available, and ground transportation lines have thinned out. VIP programs charge $30, $40, sometimes more for late departure perks, but you can get the same piece for free, just by resisting the urge to bolt. Cruise lines want you out early, so they can flip the ship for the next round, but unless you've got a flight to catch, there's no prize for being first in line. So take your time. Let everyone else stress. You'll end your vacation feeling refreshed, not frazzled. But before you walk down that gangway, there's one last secret about your cabin's privacy that the cruise lines really hope you never ask about. Cabin doors might have deadbolts, but the real story is what's hiding in the crew's back pocket. A master keycard that overrides almost any lock. Princess Cruises spells it out in their own policy memos. Even with the deadbolt on, staff can enter your room for emergencies, maintenance, or sometimes just to check the minibar. After the Costa Concordia disaster, cruise lines made sure no one could barricade themselves in, but that means privacy is only as strong as the next crew member with a reason to swipe in. There's even a lawsuit against Royal Caribbean right now, after a cabin attendant used his access card to plant a hidden camera in a guest bathroom. The verdict? 30 years in prison. But the real lesson for cruisers is this: deadbolts are a comfort, not a guarantee. If you want true privacy, use a door wedge, portable alarm, or at least hang out the Do Not Disturb sign to add a layer of friction. But while you're thinking about who can get in, the cruise line is busy tracking everywhere you go. Royal Caribbean's RFID system, think wristbands and keycards, logs your location within 10 to 15 feet every time you tap for dinner, drinks, or to drop your kid at the kids club. It's not just for safety. That data powers Royal Connect, which tells the crew where you've been, what you've spent, and even sends you alerts for onboard deals. The trick? Use it to your advantage. If something goes wrong, say your bag disappears or you're double charged at the spa, those logs are your digital alibi. Ask guest services to pull the record. It's proof, not just your word against theirs. So while the cruise line is watching, you're not powerless. Outsmart them by knowing how the system works, and you flip the script. Their surveillance becomes your safety net, and that's the kind of inside edge they really hope you never use. On major cruise lines, guests paid between $14 and $20 per day in automatic gratuities as of 2023, and cruise companies like Carnival have raised these fees by up to 8% in recent years. Evidence from guest services logs shows that hundreds of passengers each voyage request tip adjustments, yet many more never realize this option exists. Official U.S. Coast Guard alerts document stateroom fires linked to prohibited surge protectors, while internal policies reveal that most confiscated power strips are never returned. The numbers also show that only about 20 to 30% of travelers actually break even on drink packages, despite heavy marketing. Despite these insights, cruise lines do not disclose the full extent of their upselling strategies or the specifics of staff access to passenger cabins. What remains unclear is how cruise lines use the vast data they collect from RFID tracking, and how often security concerns arise behind the scenes. The available documents confirm this. Understanding cruise systems and questioning every deal is the most reliable way to travel. Smarter, spend less, and keep control over your vacation.